Blog Talk Radio.
Hello, everyone. Today is December 26th, and this is Coffee Chat with Camille. I am Camille, your host. Today's topic is what drew you to self-improvement and motivation. Our guest is John C. Morley, who is a serial entrepreneur, engineer, marketeer, talk show host, first responder, and motivator. He has left a link that you all, as my wonderful audience and listeners, can click on in the description here at the show. I'm at Blog Talk Radio. I think it's / Coffee Chat with Camille. Or you can Google me, Coffee Chat with Camille, and the show should pop up. At any rate, he is also a fellow podcaster, so we give each other support. His podcast is called J Moore Tech Talk Show, and on it he answers your questions about technology and explains the ways they should work and why they don't work sometimes. It is a weekly show to help you with all of your challenges. Okay, so I'm still waiting for John to call in because we did have a little bit of an issue with the scheduling, but I'm hoping that he is able to make it. But if not, we'll just reschedule. Okay. I was doing my research as I generally do with my guest, and I was fascinated by the fact that John C. Morley is such a multitasker, if I can say that. That's probably not even the correct word. He's like a multitasker. So there's so much that he knows how to do, and I was just thoroughly impressed and thought that he should come on the show and talk to you all about tech, being an engineer, all of his businesses, and just what motivated him in order to have such discipline as to have multiple things that he's able to do and multiple businesses that he's able to run. And technically, I too am an entrepreneur. I think all podcasters are such, and it does take discipline like any other job you have or business you have, and there's so many tasks that we must conquer daily. And I do find myself up late, but let me see. I'm sorry. I'm gonna continue. I just want to make sure that because he and I are on different time zones. Also, he's on East, and I'm over here on Pacific time. So I'm gonna send him a quick message and see if he's able to call into the show and talk to us, okay? Because perhaps he forgot. This is like the day after Christmas. So you never know, right? There's so much to think about, and this is just such a big holiday season for most of us. And we have so many people that we're trying to contact, and all the way up till New Year, and then the chaos pretty much dies down for a good 3 months, I think, roughly 3 months. So I'll just see. Right now I'm typing to him. Hi, John. I'm in the studio, and would love for you to join us. Right? Okay. Maybe he doesn't. Know the call-in number or something. Who knows? Anyway, if you're listening and you want to call in and ask me any questions or ask the guest any questions, the number is 516-392-01. Again, 516-453-9209. All right, so let me see if we can all right, let me see if I'm able to get our guest into the studio right now. If not, like I said, I usually just go ahead and I reschedule the interview, So I'm going to go ahead into the studio. I'll go back in there. All right. But I'm sorry, as I was stating or just talking about briefly is with the holiday season and Christmas, you have so many people that you have to touch base with, and sometimes you fly out of town, and it's just generally full of lots of tasks for people to spend time to be close to one another. And that's what we really do need, is to love on each other and to bring love back into America. I called President Obama affectionately the President of Love, because he loved on his wife, he loved his family so, and he did all he could for the people with what powers and support he had. But I can never know what it would be to be the President of the United States. And one thing let me see, maybe this is him. Okay, hold on, all right, everyone? Hello, hi, John.
Hi, Camille. I've been in the waiting room for quite a while. I just kept calling back because you didn't hear me.
Oh, wow, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I didn't
No problem.
I didn't even see the call come through. So, but I'm so glad you're here, and you're here to
Glad
join
to be here.
me. So much. I'm sorry about the technical error, but I did introduce you. Thank you. Thank
Fantastic.
you so much. I introduced you already, and then I really want to ask just a few questions.
Sure.
Real quick here. I was so impressed with your website and your resume, if you could say that, it's pretty amazing. And so,
Thank you.
The first question, you're very welcome. My first question would be, what made you start a marketing company?
Oh, that's a great question. So I have an IT company. It's now 31 years young this year. And I'm an engineer, that's by degree and trade, and we developed security for Wall Street. But what happened was about 11, 12 years ago, I had basically decided I had enough with the marketing advertising company that I hired when I wasn't even in business. I was still in college trying to start a business. Between my money, my father's money, parents' money, paying for advertising, marketing, and we even have a customer. And so about 11, I'll be 12 years this year, I see, enough's enough. And people kept telling me, John, you're never going to make any money. You're never going to do this. You're never going to do that. You never. Everything's never. You can't market. You're not an advertiser. You don't have this kind of experience. I just keep listing and listing. And finally, I said, enough's enough. I had actually been involved at my University of Hartford. I was in charge of the money. And one weekend they said, John, could you stay for the entertainer? I said, yeah, okay, I'll be here anyway. So they asked me to give a check to this gentleman, 2 checks for $20,000 in the beginning and $20,000 at the end for $40,000 total. So I said, well, this for? I said, oh, don't worry, it's all approved. You just have to sign it. It's all good to go. And so I'm having a little bit of an issue here with giving him 2 checks, even though they said it was approved. I just don't feel comfortable with this. So I did some digging on this guy. I'm not going to mention his name for professional reasons. But anyway, he is a stage hypnotist. And I said, I'm going to do my homework on him. And I did. And I found out what he does. He embarrasses people. I said, oh, no, he's not doing this on my watch. So I got up to him on stage when he came in. I said, Doctor, was his name, Doctor. I said, look, I'm going to be very honest with you. I did my homework on you. I know what you do. I know how you do the lemon thing and you bring people on stage and you make them to make a fool of themselves. I said, that's not happening here. So number one, I said, I've got your first check. I said, and this check will pass, providing you don't embarrass me. Otherwise, it'll go so high you won't even see it's disintegrate. And I said, you'll get the second check at the end of the show when I see you haven't embarrassed anybody and you've done a good show. Otherwise, if money doesn't matter to you, which is okay, I am just going to tell all the people that are on your tour next week, Harvard, Yale, Boston, I think there's a whole bunch of them, and they're magically going to call and cancel. So you're not going to have a tour by the time I finish next week. And so he took that very seriously. It was at that point that I decided I wanted to become certified in addition in hypnosis and NLP, and I took the Scylla method, and I said, So I got involved with that, and then I started realizing, I'm giving people good advice, but I'm not following my own advice. So I had gone to Xerox, who we are actually who we do business with, and we're their client. And so for many years, I went back and I said to them, hey, Xerox, how do we become a mom and pop print shop? Because I knew that everybody that did marketing wasn't doing it right. They were sending it out to other places, and I'm not going to do that. And so I said, I'm going to do this the right way. And so I went to them and I said, how do I become a mom pop print shop? They said, John, it's real simple, $150. I reached in my wallet. I pulled out $150. I said, no, $150,000. I said, oh. Went to my bank, fast forward. Banks are supposed to say no. My bank said yes. So something was wrong with my bank, obviously. They said yes for the loan. But what I did is I came back to Xerox and I told Xerox that I only got $130,000 when I really got $150,000 because I was still trying to be, an entrepreneur and trying to get the best value. So I went over there and I said, guys, I said, I want to tell you, good news is I got approved. Bad news is I didn't get approved for as much as I was supposed to. I got approved for $130,000. I said, let me just pay you for your lunches and your breakfast. I can't afford the machine, and I knew what I was doing. And they said, hang on, just sit, have a cup of coffee. I said, I can't afford it. Don't worry, just sit down. They went running like a little kid to the manager's office, comes back to me, says, you're in luck. How am I in luck? I'm $30,000 short. No, $20,000 short. He says, it's real simple. He says, actually they're having this, what was it, $120,000. They're having this rebate this week and next week on this machine, anything higher, and we have a $20,000 rebate with training. I said, wow. And he said, you're all set. I said, well, let me think about it. Long story short, I then went over to the marketing and advertising company. Unfortunately, it's still in business. They're in New York. And I knocked on the door at 7:30 in the morning. I knocked on the door, and I said, good morning, guys. We had a great run, and we're done. They looked at me. John, it's a little early, right? It's like 7:30 in the morning. You want a cup of coffee? You want a donut? No. I just want to say thank you. All right, let me see if I can get your sales rep. So we go through all this whole thing, and they keep trying to tell me that they're going to do a good job for me. Then they tell me that they have this multi-million-dollar advertising campaign. Would you like to see it? I look at them in the eyes, and I tell them, no. No. I said, we had a great run. We're done. I said, maybe you don't understand what I'm trying to tell you. You're fired. You're fired. The whole entire company is fired. Well, John, that's low. I said, you know what's low? Taking my money for all these years and not giving me an ROI. That's what's low. So for 2 years, I failed miserably. I've always been passionate about different things. I've always been into video. And I decided that I was going to get back into one of my passions. So I originally was on Blog Talk many years ago and started with Jay Moore Tech Talk on Blog Talk. Then I moved away to a radio station. Now we have our own network. And then I also started another show recently called IF Whale, Inspirations for Your Life, which is on our own stream. It's on radio, and now it's on Drive Time in Chicago radio every morning, and actually Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Tuesday, Thursdays it's on in the afternoon. And it's Inspirations for Your Life Drive Time Radio. But the reason I say this to you is that I knew that I wanted to do more, so I wanted to create videos. And I said, let me get more into this. And I decided that if I'm going to be a marketing company, I want to be everything. I don't want to just be somebody who just does something and sends it to somebody else. I want it to be everything. So we're a full print production, graphic media, digital design, and video center, and photo center. And I got into that, to be honest with you, Camille, because nobody could do what I needed. Nobody knew how to market an IT company. They didn't know. They did not know. And I said, I can't do any worse than they are. And I could pay myself too.
Yes.
And that's how I started that company. And no one produces more content than me. I think I produce over 600 free videos every month.
Wow.
At Believe. So you have my link tree down there, but we have a simple way to remember that link tree because that's a long link tree. It's just believemeachieve.com. Believemeachieve.com. And if you could see, you can't see because we're on radio, but I have a hat, and my hat goes right to that QR code. And I tell people, if you want to improve the quality of your life, if you want to become better, you need to check out my content. It is free. Much of it is free. And so people say, John, well, how did you get the name of Believe Me Achieve? I said, well, I was sitting one night, and I said, you know what, before you can do anything in life, you first have to believe in yourself. So I tell people, believe me, and you will achieve. But remember, believe yourself, and then you will achieve too. So when we believe, it's when the magic starts to happen. But a lot of people have doubts in their life. And things are not the way they are, like whether it's their bank account or where they are or what car they drive or their relationship status. They base it on what they have now. But you see, those things happen because of what they thought recently in the past. If you change your thoughts now and you continue those thought patterns, you're going to change where you are.
That's right.
And so I got very into motivation, and I just love to help people become better versions of themselves and to inspire people to just become a little bit better. Recently, we just launched JCM Academy, and actually this January, we're very excited. We have our first masterclass coming. JCMacademy.eventbrite.com. We have our first masterclass, and we do them every Thursday. And the theme for January is New Year, New You. We're going to share tips, tricks, and techniques to help you have a better you in your life.
That's excellent. So it's a new you, what was the other part?
It's New Year, New You is the theme for January. Every month is a different theme, but it's jcmacademy.eventbrite.com.
Okay, I saw that one. That's excellent. And then have you ever thought about writing a book?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I've started. It is not finished. It's like I keep starting, stopping. It is in the process. I'm hoping to finish that by the end of this next coming year. It's got a few chapters in it. I just it's something, writing books you can't rush. And I feel that I'm still kind of growing into that space that I need to be in to write a book. But one thing I am a member of is the International Press Association. And I've been a member now 6 years. And so this year is a kind of a caterpillar moment for me in transformation because I started, if you look at BelieveMeAchieve.com, there's a section that says John's Weekly Articles. So twice a week, I write articles between 600 and 1,200 words that one is about motivation and marketing, and the other one is about technology. For example, just to tell you what we wrote just recently, and this is kind of like a spring point that I believe is good because if you keep writing every day, then it's going to be easier to write a book, right? So I figured this is a good step that I'm taking, and I'm doing it consistently. So the last thing we wrote about was understanding prospects versus leads in the marketing side. And on the tech side, the last thing we wrote about was Wi-Fi 6, operations and your health. Is Wi-Fi 6 or Wi-Fi dangerous to your health? or is it not? And what we concluded is that Wi-Fi in general would take over 1 million, basically, in the frequency to cause you to have damage, like to damage your skin and things like that. And although, Wi-Fi is only just about 2 watts, it seems like it wouldn't harm you. And although that's true, people can still get temporary side effects. They can get headaches. They can get nausea, just depending on how they relate. And it's still not good to sleep under a router or near a router. So even though there's not long-term effects, they can still do things like, affect your learning pattern, affect your memory, because EMF still is part of Wi-Fi. And so our brains are highly working with, our basically energy. And the energy and the, let's call it the electro frequencies that we have in our brain can get disrupted by the frequencies from Wi-Fi.
Wow, I did not know that. Wonderful, thank you. And then what makes you unique in the motivation and keynote space?
Well, I think what makes me unique is that I pretty much set my own stage. Most speaking companies that do speaking, they don't do their own marketing. They don't do their own advertising. They don't do their own anything. They hire somebody to put it together. We don't. The Orbital Media, which is my marketing, advertising, video, and print production company, does all of the work for JSIM Academy, example. And also J Moore Tech Talk. And so whether that's graphics, video production. And so I think what makes me unique is the fact that I'm extremely passionate. All right. This week's theme on IFYL. So every week, it started on LinkedIn because I have close to 5,000 followers there. We launched a private little small community. It's comprised of a few hundred people. I think it's like 250 people. And it's designed for people that want to improve their life. We started that last year. And what we do on that is we broadcast to LinkedIn, to Twitter, Twitch, Facebook. And so I do that every night, varying times, but I promise people that before I go to sleep, I will do the broadcast. So this week's master topic, which started on Saturday, and it's rolling all the way through to Friday of this coming week, is entitled Exploring Holiday Traditions. So like yesterday, we talked about traditions in England, about the crackers that started, and they started from a candy company. Then later, the candy company decided to get rid of the actual candy, which is what they were trying to sell, and put little toy trinkets in them. So the main thing they were trying to sell, they got rid of, which I thought was kind of funny. And you have to understand that the reason people do things can change, right? And so who knew that a chocolate company was actually going to be known for making a toy cracker? I mean, would you have ever thought that? I mean, that started, like I said, many, many years ago, and most people don't even know what a cracker is. Have you ever heard of a cracker before?
No, I haven't actually.
So they started, like I said, a very, very long time ago. They call them Christmas crackers is what they're called. And they have been a tradition for a very, very long time. The Christmas cracker was invented by a London-based confectioner and baker, Tom Smith, who was around from 1823 to 1869. He set up shop in Goswell Road, Clerkenwell, in the 1840s, and Smith initially produced wedding cakes and sweets. On a trip to Paris, he discovered the French bonbon, a sugared almond wrapped in a twist of tissue paper. He decided, because sales were slumping, that he wanted to add the cracker. Later on, they realized they needed to make room for the cracker, so they had to make it bigger. They later put a toy in, but they discovered they had no room for the bonbon. And so we get these at the holiday time, and what we do traditionally on Christmas Day in our family is we typically have filet mignon, and we have like shrimp, cocktail shrimp and filet mignon. But what we do before we eat, we have our grace. So just after grace, we take our cracker and we pull the end, and it pops. And then you get a little hat, like a little paper hat that goes on you. In addition to that, you get a little toy where it could be a whistle, a car, or a train, a little thing that rolls. And so traditions are very important. And I tell people, that if you don't have traditions, you really should get some, because traditions will help us with our lineage. It can help us appreciate the past. It can help us appreciate what we have in our lives. And it can really educate us to things that we didn't even know existed. I have to tell you, that's one of the best things I love about writing is that when I write things, I sometimes have to do research. Sometimes, almost all the time, I have to do research because there's something in it that I may not know about. Yeah. And so when you think about all these things, what's going on, what's not going on. I mean, there was an article that I wrote, quite a few months ago. And it was actually about the fact that they're going to be changing the lights someday outside, that lights on your desk and lights outside someday may not use electricity.
Right, yes.
So the way that will transpire is they're going to use a process from plants, and the light will last as long as the plant lives for many, many years.
Mm-hmm.
So there's always something interesting, something unique, and I think there's a good amount of people that want to yearn for that. Yesterday I started talking more about Kwanzaa. And the thing about Kwanzaa is I didn't know a lot about it, but I watched a story on the Christmas channel, on the Hallmark Channel. And I started learning all about Kwanzaa, and I said, let me talk about that in my show. So every day, because it's traditions around the holiday, I talk about a different tradition. There's a tradition we have on Christmas Day that we have a stollen that's actually made originally from Germany. Now it's made in the U.S., and it's a very rich pastry dough. And it has all types of things in there. And when people say to me, what the heck is a stollen? And there's a lot of people don't know, what is a stollen? They say, why didn't you pay for it? No, it's not that kind of stollen. It's stollen is it's a fruit bread, but not like a bread that you would think like a fruit cake, because I don't like those. It has spices, dried and canned fruits, but it's nowhere near like a fruit cake, and it can be powdered or cinnamon. They call it a fruit-like bread is probably the best way. And, we give these out to our customers, but we have this for our tradition every single Christmas Day. And they call it, it has some kind of have raisins in it. But the thing that's interesting about stollen is, I don't know if you know this, but they were not allowed, based on the religion, Catholic religion, to actually, milk was not allowed in stollens. So it wasn't until the 14th or the 15th century when milk was permitted. So stollens used to be very bland. And I think a lot of people don't get these lessons. They think that everything is the way it is today, but it's not. It's about how things have evolved, and that's what I love about the show is that there's so many things that we might know about today, but people might not know their origins.
Yes. Oh, okay. Well, look, it looks like the time is, we have about 60 seconds left. So thank you for your last answer, too. And I love this about the traditions. And then where can someone learn and view the content of your product?
Absolutely. So you can view content 24 hours a day. Just go to Believe, BELIEVE, MEACHIEVE.com. That's BelieveMeAchieve.com. You can check out all my great stuff. You can check out my articles. And you can watch anywhere from a short video to a long video. There's so many types of videos and content flavors that are there that I think there's something there for everyone.
Okay. Outstanding. So I want to thank you so much, John, for joining me today and for your
my pleasure.
Wonderful expertise. And I just want to wish you a happy new year and hope to have you back on another episode. Okay. Thank you so much, John.
I really enjoyed a happy and healthy New Year to you and your family as well.
Thank you so much. Bye for now.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, that was Mr. John C. Morley. He's wonderful. And so I'm going to add in the description the BelieveMeAchieve.com link, okay? And please follow him. He has so many interesting things for you to be involved into. And thank you again for listening to another episode. We're on Season 3, Episode 9 of Coffee Chat with Camille. Bye for now, everyone, and happy holidays.